Hello people, I'm the Real Comic Book Gamer, and today some new Rebirth books came out. DC's been doing pretty good with these so far, and today I read Nightwing Rebirth #1, Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns #1, well, Rebirth #1, and then Action Comics number 900, well, issue 959. So, I'm going to be talking about Nightwing Rebirth, maybe the others, depends on how much time I have left after I'm done talking about Nightwing, because I don't want to make this video incredibly long. But anyways, yeah, let's talk about Nightwing, because that's the big one. That's the one I was the most excited for out of these, considering, he didn't start at like the launch of Rebirth. He's just starting now. This is his first issue in Rebirth. Also, spoilers for any books I talk about. But anyways, let's start off with Nightwing. So, this issue is kind of a mixed bag. It doesn't exactly know what it wants to be. It's like, hey, I want to be a beginner's book because, well, it shows you like how Nightwing got his name, and he's talking about how he's raised in Wayne Manor, and a lot of stuff with his parents that they used to do when he was a kid, and he's part of the circus. And then it'll just delve into stuff that if you have not been keeping up with Grayson or like the Batman books, you will not know what's going on. So it's like, whoa, you kind of did a 180 there, and then it'll go back to like explaining origin stuff for Robin, well, for when he was Robin and that stuff, and it's just like, what is this? This doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because you're trying to be like, hey, this is a #1, this is a jumping on point for a lot of readers. A lot of people will be like, hey, I know Nightwing because like maybe they saw him in like Arkham Knight or something, or they know Nightwing because he's a famous character and people like him. A lot of people will suggest it to new readers, so they want to read it, and it's like, hey, #1, perfect jumping on point. And then they come in and it's like, oh, this is cool, and then suddenly they start talking about Lincoln Mark and the or March, however you pronounce it, and the Court of Owls, and they're just lost, have no idea what's going on. And then they start talking about Spiral and Helena Bertinelli, and then she's Huntress, and it's just like, what is this? And like, I would have been fine if they were going like deep into that stuff, if they wouldn't have tried to do the beginner stuff, like the origin stuff. Like, they're explaining things about the fact how Nightwing chose it, well, how Dick Grayson chose the name Nightwing, and the fact that, that was a superhero on Krypton. And it's like, okay, you're explaining all this stuff, which is nice for new readers, but then you go into this, like, you go into detail about stuff with Spiral, and like how Agent 1 is now leading it, and it's just like, if people did not keep up with Grayson, they have no idea what you're talking about, and this is all gibberish and doesn't mean anything. And the book like switches locations a lot, and it's just all over the place. It felt really long too. It felt longer than it actually is. It's only like 22 pages or something like that, but it felt a lot longer because I was like, dear God, what is going on? The book itself, it's not bad. There are some good character moments between Dick and Damian, and it does definitely do a really good job at like making an interesting setup for the future stories. I'm excited to see what happens next. One of the things that really pissed me off about the book, though, was Lincoln Mark. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It's Lincoln March or Lincoln Mark. But anyways, in this book, well, in case you guys don't know who he is, he was the antagonist for Batman, sort of hidden for the first part of the Court of Owls. But anyways, in the second volume of Batman the New 52, it was revealed that he is the big bad guy behind the Court of Owls, and that he might be Bruce Wayne's brother. And then sort of like a building gets dropped on, and you don't know if he was alive or not, or if he is telling the truth about being Bruce Wayne's brother. And he's really an interesting villain, and he kicked ass, and he caused all kinds of trouble for Bruce Wayne. Well, in this book, he gets taken down in like a second. He takes a dart to the eye, and he's done. It's really pissed me off, because he gives this big speech to the Court of Owls, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then just a dart hits him in the eye, and he's done. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? This guy kicked ass before. He was awesome. One of my favorite parts of the New 52. And then, yep, he's just gone. All this interesting stuff and everything. I'm not saying he's dead. I'm just saying the fact that he gets taken out like that, that's stupid when he gave Batman so much trouble. Of course, this happens a lot in comics. It's not like this was the first guy that this happened to. Bane is notorious for this, probably the most well-known, because of the fact that when he first appeared, he broke Batman's back. And that's very rare for any villain to defeat Batman. Nevertheless, the first time they appear in breaking his back disabled him for a while. And after that, he didn't do a whole lot. After all the Nightfall and all the connected Nightfall books, Bane didn't really do much. He would be kind of like a one-off villain, just show up, get beat, and that was it. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of it for Bane. But yeah, that's what a lot of villains do, and it's no different for Lincoln Mark here. And it annoys me. I don't like it. But yeah, overall, Nightwing, it's an okay book. I would probably wait. I'd probably suggest for you to wait if you didn't already buy this book. Obviously, if you're interested in Nightwing, wait until issue #1. of the actual book comes out, because this is just the Rebirth issue. Next is when the series actually starts. This is sort of like all set up, so I would suggest waiting for that issue, or if you got money to burn, go and catch up on Grayson and then read this. But anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Nightwing book. Next up is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Now, this book to me achieved what Nightwing was trying to be. The fact that Nightwing was sort of like spreading out some bits of his origin throughout the book, and then going full in depth on things about like what's going on with story arcs that you would have had to read a while ago to understand. This book does a good job at accepting new readers, but also not turning a blind eye to readers that have been there for a while. Granted, I have not been reading Green Lantern for a while, since like the very beginning of New 52. I have not been reading Green Lantern, and that's how I know this book is good for beginners, because I have not read Green Lantern since the beginning of New 52, so I don't know what's currently going on that much. All I remember was the fact that like Hal Jordan became an outlaw and stuff, and took the blame for all the bad stuff that the Green Lanterns did, and that he was sort of an outcast and everything. That was basically all I knew. So going into this book, I basically bought it because I wanted to see Ethan Van Sciver draw Hal Jordan again. That was, to me, worth the price of admission alone. The guy is one of my favorite artists, and when he's drawing Hal Jordan, it looks awesome. So anyways, yeah, this book, it's basically just Hal. You see, he's secluded at this one place. He's become basically pure will right now, and he's trying to get back to the human plane. He's trying not to be just an energy, just a construct, because he even says he's like, I'm just a construct now, and he's trying to become a human again. And then we also see that Sinestro, this was sort of the confusing part, but they do a good job of just being like, hey, basically this is what happened. And Sinestro has been driving around Warworld, and it's powered by Parallax, who he has captured, and I thought that was pretty cool, because Sinestro has always been one of my favorite villains, and especially in DC Comics. Like, he's a really cool villain, and he has Parallax just captured in Warworld, and I think that's pretty awesome. But basically, they tell you that he's pretty much just been going around the world just killing a bunch of people and doing whatever he wants, and that's what Sinestro's been doing. And we see that Sinestro's been aged a lot. I don't know what's going on there or why he's been aged so much, but it didn't really bother me. And then Sinestro goes up to Parallax. He's like, you've done a lot for me. You've done all this stuff and all this crap. And then he's like, I asked that you grant me one last request. Everything. And it's like, oh, what's going to go on here? But we see that Hal is sort of maybe rejuvenating the rest of the Lantern Corps and everything, and like bringing back life to all of it, because all the Guardians disappeared and the Lanterns haven't been doing a whole lot. And so what we see is Hal makes his own ring. And I think that's awesome. It even says in the book, he's like, the Guardians once told me that only they held the knowledge and ability to forge a ring. But he makes a ring, and I think that's pretty cool, because Hal Jordan is the most powerful Green Lantern, and all the Green Lantern any Green Lantern ever, he is the most powerful Green Lantern. It's been shown time and time again. Jeff Johns has said it many times in the book. Like, you can see, Hal Jordan is the most powerful Green Lantern of all time. He killed a Guardian. He killed Chrono, which the rings are made to not be able to kill Guardians. He's constantly breaking the rules and breaking what's even possible, and I think it's awesome that this happened, that he creates a ring, because in case you guys did not know, like, Hal Jordan did not have a ring anymore. He took the prototype gauntlet when he became an outlaw. He gave up his ring and took the gauntlet, because with the ring, it's like, it's connected to the core and everything, and like tracking and all that stuff. At least that's what I'm assuming. Again, I did not read the story arc, but yeah, so he creates his own ring, and this makes him human again, not just like a construct or anything. And he does the oath at the end, and it looks so great. Ethan Van Sciver's art is amazing. He just says at the end, he said, my name is Hal Jordan. It's about time I caused some trouble. So overall, really good book. Very interesting. Can't wait to see more. Very simple. Not a whole lot happens, but it's pretty cool, and I can't wait to see what happens next in Green Lantern. It's a really good book. And lastly, we have Action Comics issue 959. This issue was good, but nothing amazing. It's the continuing of Doomsday and Superman just punching each other around the city, with Lex Luthor occasionally popping in going, aha, let's do this, Superman. Superman being like, I don't trust you, Lex, but you're not my Lex, so I don't know if I should trust you, but I don't trust you. And then you have Lois and Superman. Lois' kid are just, worrying about Superman getting the crap beaten out, because, it's his dad. He's watching his dad fight Doomsday. He's like, I don't want my dad to die, but I want to watch the fight. And then Lois is like, no, you're not going to watch your dad get himself killed. And that's basically the issue until the end. Because up until the end, it's all that. It's just a bunch of like Lois and Jonathan worrying, which is their son, worrying about Superman dying. Like, it's just a bunch of sort of punchy stuff that's like not an interesting fight. It's like, okay, they're punching each other, not a whole lot's happening. And then you have Clark Kent, because you guys did not know, if you're not caught up with this story at all, Clark Kent just out of nowhere appeared, and he's separate from Superman. You have Superman, you have Clark Kent, two completely different people existing on their own, so it's weird. He shows up, and him and Superman have like a conversation while Superman's fighting Doomsday. It's kind of weird. It's like, Superman's fighting Doomsday, this guy who's killed him before, and he's just having a casual conversation with Clark, and it's kind of weird. And then I don't care for this Lex. I'm not a big fan of him. But what happens at the end is really interesting, and I'm excited to see what happens next. We'll see what they do here, because what happens is Superman's like, okay, I'm smart. I fought Doomsday before. I know I can't let him get close. So he's hitting him with heat vision, everything he can while he's in the sewers, and then Doomsday just crushes a gas pipe. And that makes it to where Superman lights the gas with his heat vision, and like the city just explodes. At least a big part of it explodes. But prior to that, they're talking about getting everyone evacuated. So probably hardly anyone died. But it is very interesting because of the fact that it's sort of Man of Steel-esque, and the fact that like everyone got destroyed, like this buildings and everything. And so all we see left is that Doomsday. Superman's gone, so we don't know what happened to Superman. We don't know where he's at, so that's interesting to see what happens next with that. And of course, I'm really excited for what happens next. But I'm interested, not necessarily excited, but interested to see how they explain this Clark Kent. It's probably gonna be some stupid thing, but we'll see. So yeah, this issue, not bad, but nothing amazing. Actually, I'd say it's around the Nightwing level of just okay. So if you get one book today out of the 3 that I read, Wonder Woman also came out, but I didn't get that yet. So I would say get Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. That's my recommendation out of these 3. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you read these issues, please let me know in the comments below what was your favorite issue that you read today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see ya in the next one.